halfway through her presidency, Madam Halima grappled with one of the biggest challenges in her career, the COVID-19 pandemic. This led to the biggest draw on Singapore's past reserves. Madam Halima said that she was clear that she could only authorize the release of past reserves for very exceptional circumstances, and they had robust discussions.
The first part is really intense because we have the government, Minister for Finance, Minister for MTI, Minister for Health, and all their officers coming to brief us, for us then to ask the questions, the relevant questions, If you say the situation is critical, what do you mean by that? Hospitals, if you say you're going to be overwhelmed if you don't have additional facilities, what do you mean by that? So once we've established that, then we go to the second part. And that is the question of how much to draw down. That is for the government then to justify. To say we need this amount, these billions of dollars for these purposes and these programs. And the programs are then all itemized. We have our role to protect the reserves and to make sure that the government's request is reasonable.
There's been an outpouring of gratitude towards Halima Yacob. Singapore organizations tell CNA how Madam President advanced many social causes from the highest platforms right down to the people. Shalencia has more.
Calling her a president for the people, the Labour movement says Madam Halima has always had the welfare of workers at heart. It's a journey that dates back 45 years to her first job out of school, advocating for better labour welfare and prospects.
Even after she became a president, the heart of the workers and the people on the ground never depart from her. And she's very passionate about it. And in fact, she regularly engaged, the unions. She understood the needs of the various different types of workers, from the different rank and file to the PMEs, to the platform workers.
As the country's first female president, the Singapore Council of Women's Organizations lauds her as a trailblazer. For one, Madam Halima is its patron, a role traditionally held by a First Lady. And having a president take up the mantle has opened new doors. She's hosted the Singapore Women's Hall of Fame at the Istana since 2021, giving female role models recognition from the highest office of the land.
She truly believes that there should be diversity, gender diversity in leadership. So she is also sitting on the Council of Board Diversity as a patron. And what I really think is amazing about her is she really walks the talk and leads by example. So for herself, she also makes sure that, to make conscious effort to have diversity in her own Council for Presidential Advisors.
In her call for inclusivity, Madam Halima used the President's challenge to turn the spotlight on people with disabilities. The community says her efforts began with the social service agencies that work directly with those with special needs and didn't stop there.
Asking us what else can we do, what else is there to be done, addressing employers, encouraging them to get the employment practices more accommodating for persons with disabilities. Then also at national level, where she has made speeches and on her social media posts, speaking up for persons who may not have a voice.
Madam Halima's work also extends to the less privileged. From regular engagements to dialogue, social service agency Jamia Singapore says she's uplifted it in down-to-earth ways.
Her consistent participation in Jamia's events, such as food ration and meat distributions, demonstrated her hands-on approach to addressing the practical needs of the community.
Mr. Jafar adds that Madam Halima's humility and warmth have left a lasting impression.
Well, organizations in Singapore record their thanks to outgoing President Halima Yacob, from the labor movement to those serving the lower income.
Thank you, Madam President, for impacting the lives of our communities, our workers, and Singaporeans.
You really shown us that gender stereotypes and gender biases will not stop women from achieving and actually reaching for the stars. Thank you.
I want to thank you for being a voice for those who cannot speak. And I want to thank you for the sacrifices that you have made that is not obvious to many of us.
Your contribution have indeed left a lasting mark in our hearts. Thank you, Madam Halima.
In the next hour on Asia First, North Korean leader Kim Jong-un disembarks from his armored train in Russia ahead of a possible meeting with Russian President Vladimir Putin.
And Libya reels from deadly floods which have killed at least 2,300 people and left thousands missing.
Also ahead, more business coverage. Asian stocks set to follow Wall Street lower. Already we are seeing that Nikkei futures and also Australia's ASX 200 futures moving lower, and benchmark index in New Zealand also opened lower. We'll keep you on top of the trading action this morning. Plus, Goldman Sachs CEO David Solomon is upbeat that the US will avoid a recession but warns about inflation, saying the US Fed may still need to take further tightening measures. Stay with us.
Warm memories wherever you go. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways. The weather, sponsored by Qatar Airways. Next time on Japan Hour. 緑の看板でおなじみの業務スーパー。
安いのが一番ありがたいですね。こんだけ物価高騰してたら。
うどんは一玉18円。こちらもおすすめ。これは美味しいですね。特用ウインナー 850g 入って429円。まさに庶民の味方。Japan Hour Saturday on CNA. Japan Hour is brought to you by Sumitomo Corporation. MUFG, committed to empowering a brighter future. And Zip Air winter fares are now available.
Singapore President Halima Yaakob will mark the end of her presidency with a farewell ceremony on Thursday, 14th September. Tharman Shanmugaratnam will be sworn in as the nation's 9th president that same evening. CNA will bring you live coverage of these events from the Astana. Singapore President Farewell and Swearing-in Ceremony, Thursday at 7 p.m. on CNA.
This is Asia
a.m. here in Singapore. I'm Julie Yu. The headlines this morning. Devastating floods wipe out a quarter of a city in Libya, a country torn by political instability. More than 5,000 people feared dead and 10,000 missing as heavy rains caused 2 dams to collapse, which authorities say weren't maintained for more than 2 decades.
You know, it's going to take a massive response. So in that sense, the World Food Program is prepared to respond. We have food in the warehouse in Benghazi. We're ready to deploy that quickly and rapidly as soon as we understand where the most needs are.
And over in Morocco, earthquake survivors seek more help as search and rescue teams from only 4 countries are allowed to operate. The Red Cross appeals for more than $100 million to assist those affected. The death toll now stands at more than 2,900.
I'm Steve Lai. What we are also tracking this morning on Asia First. North Korean leader Kim Jong-un's trip to Russia. He says his expected meeting with Vladimir Putin is a clear manifestation of the North prioritizing the strategic importance of their bilateral ties. Reports say the duo are expected to meet at a space center near Russia's border with China.
And I'm Henry Yin with Business News. We're focusing on big tech. Apple's new iPhone will not feature the company's proprietary Lightning charging port as it adapts to European Union rules. And a high-stakes trial that pits the US government against Google. The firm denies the Justice Department charge that it's harmed consumers through illegal monopoly.
Libyan authorities say at least 5,300 people have been killed after catastrophic flash floods struck the country's eastern coast.
Officials say more than 10,000 people remain missing in the eastern city of Derna.